Welcome to today's briefing. I'm Aaron. We'll be examining the geopolitical dynamics that led to the 2023 U.S. deployment to the Gulf of Oman. This episode provides an insightful look into the interplay between international sanctions, maritime law, and state actors in contemporary global politics. To understand the 2023 U.S. deployment to the Gulf of Oman, we must first have a brief overview of U.S.-Iranian relations since the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Relations have deteriorated after the overthrow of the Shah and the subsequent hostage crisis. Since then, the two countries have had no formal diplomatic relations, and tensions have only intensified over the years due to concerns related to nuclear proliferation, terrorism, regional influence, and human rights. The post-revolution Iran made Tiananmen Square look like a birthday party. Fast forward to 2015, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA, also known as the Iranian nuclear deal, was signed between Iran, the U.S., and several other world powers. The agreement aimed to limit Iran's nuclear capability in exchange for relief from economic sanctions. December 14, 2017, the United States UN representative, Nikki Haley, displayed evidence that Iran was violating the United Nations resolutions 2216 and 2231 by proliferating ballistic missiles to Yemen. In 2018, under President Donald Trump, the United States unilaterally withdrew from the JCPOA, citing concerns that the deal did not sufficiently curtail Iran's nuclear ambitions or address other areas of concern such as ballistic missiles and regional interventions. Consequently, the United States reimposed sanctions on Iran, targeting its oil sector, among others. This is important. The United States withdrew from the nuclear deal with Iran because Iran had violated two United Nations resolutions. The United States then imposed United States sanctions on Iran. These are United States sanctions for violating UN resolutions. The U.S. sanctions aim to reduce Iran's oil exports, a significant source of revenue, to zero. This included secondary sanctions that would penalize other countries or entities that purchased or facilitated sale of Iranian oil. In response, Iran adopted various countermeasures to bypass these sanctions, such as renaming and reflagging its ships, turning off transponders to avoid detection, and executing ship-to-ship transfers of oil in international waters. In August 2020, the United States seized the cargo of 4 tankers bound for Venezuela, containing approximately 1.1 million barrels of petroleum. The U.S. Department of Justice claimed that the shipments were part of a scheme by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which the U.S. has designated as a foreign terrorist organization, to illicitly ship Iranian oil to foreign customers. The tankers were Pandy, Luna, Bering, and Bella. The seizure resulted in varied reactions. Many U.S. allies lauded the move, interpreting it as a firm stance against Iranian provocations and a commitment to preventing Iran from gaining revenues to fund its controversial activities. On the other hand, Iran viewed the seizure as piracy and responded with actual piracy. In 2021 to now, Iran has unlawfully seized 5 oil tankers. They have attempted to seize up to 20 vessels and have conducted attacks on cargo ships in Gulf ports. The United States responded by deploying over 3,000 sailors, Marines, and Special Operating Forces to the Gulf of Oman in August 2023. At time of this recording, U.S. military assets are on site in multiple domains. F-35s coordinate UAV sensor data with F-16 security. A-10s are providing low and slow tactical support. Helicopter Combat Squadron 26 is on station with security forces moving through the area. This is the situation as of August 10th, 2023.
So everybody to my left and everybody to my right, they've been through this. So I know mentally, these individuals are extremely hard. And when stuff gets bad and, in any situation, I know these guys have my back.
The Americans aren't coming for you. We're already there.